Hello.
Hey Rick, accept and council and the public.
Oh, great. Glad you called.
Okay. So, I'd like to call the meeting for the regular council meeting for December 19th, 2023. If we could get Mr. Jim Barca Sr. to do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Hayden, if we can get the roll call.
President Brennan.
Here.
Mrs. Fry.
Here.
Mr. Hanna.
Here.
Vice President Rondo.
Here.
Mr. Stein.
Here.
Mr. Bodedian.
Here.
Mr. Yumpkins.
Here.
Mayor Foss.
Here.
All
Okay,
present,
all
sir.
present. Thank you. President Brennan, do you have a president's report?
I don't have a president's report on hand. Main thing that we're working on right now is the budget. So the budget is our main thing that we're going to be voting on tonight, which we've all been working on for the last several months. That's our priority. I'd just like to state, while I have my time here, I'd like to thank Councilman Stein for his several years of service, and Councilman Hanna for his stepping up to the plate and coming in for his, I guess, 2 years, I guess it's been, 2.5 years, or quite 2 years, I'm not sure. But I thank you for serving the borough, and I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
And that's all I have right now, Mr. Ronda.
Thank you. Mayor's report?
Well, it'll be fairly short too. There's one more thing coming up that Munhall Council is going to be doing. Tomorrow night, they're going to be judging the lights on Main Street. I've asked Carol Shreve to come up and help be one of the judges. Lori Corsai and one of the Tiffany, who is in Munhall Cares, want to be one of the judges. So we're going to judge them on Main Street, and I've asked Munhall Cares to they're going to be able to give some awards out, and I think we're going to do $100 first, $50 second, $25 third. And also I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and Jason and Bill, it's been great working with you guys. The last couple years with you, Bill, and about the last, I think we've been together about 8 years, Jay. So it's been great working with you guys, and we're going to get some new council people on. I've worked with Bernie a long time, and Bernie and I always worked good together, and we got Tim Eads coming on, some, new, young, fresh ideas. So looking forward to working with the new council, but I am going to miss the old council also.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Solicitor?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Vice President. It's just been business as usual, nothing extraordinary. A couple of personnel items that I've worked with Seth and the chief. Other than that, nothing to report.
Okay. Seth, if you would like to do the agenda items, that would be great.
First motion is to approve the meeting minutes from November 21st, 2023.
I would like to get a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Rich did. Any questions or comments? Any questions or comments about the motion? If we could get a vote? Roll call? Roll call? No? If we could get a vote on approving the minutes?
Aye.
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 Sounds like all ayes, so ayes have it. Do we have any speak? No speakers. Oh, we got one. Oh, come on up.
Up there or
Right here.
well,
I was here to propose a research study, and I talked to someone in the administrative offices. I didn't know when to, is it now to propose it?
Good time as any.
Okay.
And your name?
My name is Kevin Hosler. I'm a student at the University of Pittsburgh. I'm a PhD student. Currently, we're working on a project that's funded by the government to lower energy bill costs using smart solutions. And our target is to go into low-income neighborhoods and propose a first research survey to see who's interested in lowering their energy bills and what type of situations they have, what assistance they need, and just to get a breath of the situation, because the last government report was about 3 years old and it's not very specific. And also, we're local, so we're not a government institution, we're a research department, so there's a little bit more trust in that situation. Now, the main thing is we need help in reaching out to the community to pass around the research survey. And depending on how the survey goes, we'd like to conduct a research study as a follow-up. Now, the study will cost nothing financial to anyone that participates in it. The only cost will be time and a little bit of effort. Now, things that are included in the study. We will be, for example, everyone says the temperature, like for example, growing up, my dad always said the temperature stays at 62 degrees during winter, right? Well, what effect does that actually have on the energy bill versus, teenage daughters or teenage sons raising it while you're not home? So we'd like to monitor that to see what effect that has on the bill. And one thing that's included, for example, are smart thermostats. So if we have enough, because the proposal is in 2 months, but we want to know what the lay of the land is through the community and what the thoughts are now. But one thing we're shooting for is low-cost solutions as an initial step. Like, for example, smart thermostats that can have a tracked pattern. So it's lower during the morning or when no one's home, and then it's higher during the evening when everyone's home. Again, there's no direct financial cost. It's just a survey to see who would like to be involved in it, followed by the study for the people who would like to be involved with it, with a small financial contribution to them at no cost. And also another thing to note is, for example, we know in some elderly homes that if they're not using the floor of their house, we'd like them to close their vents. We will have someone who can assist them with it, like a fellow student or a PIT-approved person to help them. So if there is an issue where someone would like to participate but they need assistance, we will have that available. But yeah, I talked to someone in the administrative offices and they told me to come down and see what the council's thoughts are on it.
Did he speak with you, Seth?
No.
You don't remember her name?
I called the administrative office and she just said to come here and propose it.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
She just said to come
This
here.
is news to me, yeah.
yeah, so for you to do this survey,
Mhm.
what do you need from us?
Well, the one, we need to make sure it's approved, like we're allowed to do it. Whenever the survey is finalized, we need to send it out to whoever would be in charge of public outreach on the council. And then if it's approved, the administrative office has mentioned just simply posting it on social media websites that you have and bringing it up at maybe as a footnote in another council meeting, just so people know.
Well, how about Seth, if he leaves his information with you, and we can talk, I mean, we're definitely not going to discuss it this evening.
Right, it's, give me some more information.
Yep.
Reach out to me,
Yeah.
I'm not taking any time off except for Christmas Day, New Year's Day.
Yeah, no problem. I can definitely reach out to you. But yeah, I called the administrative office and they just told me to come here.
That's fine.
I'm just doing what I was
That's
told.
why we have comments, that's fine. Is there anything else, Kev?
No, that was it. Thank you.
Cool, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that Seth will get back in touch with you, get ahold of him, find out what you need. We'll discuss it and get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
We have no speakers?
No.
Nope.
Any comment on items from concern?
Yeah. Do we have any public comments for items of consideration? Yes, sir.
Actually, I have to stand up. What's the $100,000 for recreation this month? Was that for the playgrounds that, I don't know, last I heard, they're not finished?
They are finished. We actually met with PC.
Because the swings were
PCMR.
real low, that's all been fixed up.
Yes, sir. And that's exactly what.
Who
we're
was
talking about.
supervising that it took so long? I'm just curious, I don't know, who manages that?
It was a combination between myself and the engineer.
It just seemed like it took forever. Unfortunately, it still wasn't even done by the winter time, I don't know.
There's a lot of background and delays that were outside of our control.
Well, if you got the money, that's who should be controlling it all. And I know
We're happy
it's
to discuss
probably
this
grant.
offline at some point, Mr. Parker.
Yeah, no, I mean, the other question is, I was reading the budget and some of the charts that you had did, and there was some paving done by borough employees. Which streets were they?
Alleyways, and off the top, I do not.
What
know.
name? Was one of them, East John Street?
Off the top, sir, I do not know.
Well, I'd like to know, because East John Street, there's one house on it. One house, and I remember that getting paved 20 years ago because the people that lived in the house come to the council meeting. Everything else is garages, and it looks like it was newly paved. And most of you know why I'm bringing up paving. Because where I live and my neighbors, we've tried for 40 years to get the street somewhat. It's the old, looks like the old coal road now. You ever remember that on Eads Street? It was a dreaded road to
The
drive.
one that's not the borough road.
Huh?
You mean the one that's not a borough road?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Or Old Mooney Road years ago when it was two ways. I think this borough should be ashamed of themselves that West Mifflin has done, they have one house on the street. They've done some stuff, but maybe everybody should take a ride down that street. And what upsets me is that it's East John Street or something on the sign. That's been done twice since I brought up about, and it's a pretty long street, or alley, whatever you want to call it. Who determined those? Who picked those out or to this list?
Sir, like I said,
I mean, you have it in all your stuff,
Mr.
but
Parker,
you're not
Mr.
specific.
Parker, would you like me to answer the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, then please let me answer the question. As I said, I do not know which alleys were done. I don't have that information in front of me. And with this street specifically or alley, I would have to look, was it done by a utility? Was it done by us? When was it done? I can get back to you with that information, but I
I'd
do
like
not
to
have
get
it now.
I just know that I go by it and here it's all paved. And there's one house on it.
That's fine. I do not have that information right now.
Okay. The other thing is, in all these things we're gonna spend money on, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know that the softball and the baseball had to buy their own light bulbs. We spend $10 million. I thought these organizations, it's great what they do, but they shouldn't be burdened with a bunch of fundraising. Because that just adds the cost to the family. I think we need a legitimate recreation program where we as the community take responsibility for those costs. A lot more than what, that are being done. I don't know what baseball does. I know when my girls, I was well involved with the softball. And when you really look around a ton, the only recreation that's had big improvements has been paid by somebody else. Westfield, the girls softball, they have that building up there and they put some batting cages in. I don't know what baseball might have gotten, but that's a fact. We've become a town that's dependent on other people, and it's wrong. And one of the reasons is we spend 10 or I don't know what the budget totals. That's $1 million a month. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. You're paying $1.3 million in debt service? Well, do you know why you have that? Because we spent more than we took in. So where's it gonna end? I couldn't find my article years ago when they did that big study. It said Munhall needs to rein in their cost. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. We talked about it, about raising the taxes. As far as I was concerned, I'd go bankrupt. You can't spend what you don't have because you're still burdened with it. Just think that $1.3 million, what you could do extra with in our community. And I would like to know that list and who made the decision on what streets got, or alleys got done. Did council know?
I don't know who made the decision.
Mr. Barker, if you would make sure that I have your contact
Oh, I
information
can.
afterwards.
And then the boot is, there's no road paving program. Thank God the utilities. What do we do without them? Every year, Munhall always had money,
Excuse me,
liquid
Mr.
fuels
Barker.
money.
Mr. Barker,
Yeah,
when we took over, we had no money.
well, I know that. And this isn't
We're-
just you, this is
Well,
the
We're
last.
doing a lot of stuff to the good, but you're bringing up all the bad.
I still don't, when you're fighting over light bulbs for the softball,
I didn't know we were fighting over.
I thought, well, the last council meeting, they paid for their light bulbs for the field. I thought the borough maintained some.
Where did you get that information from?
I watched it on the video.
Is that true? I was away.
The lady brought it up. I think she spent $1,900 on a bulb. I think the borough needs to look at what these organizations.
Mr. Barker, Mr. Shields?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna clarify for the record.
Okay,
To my knowledge, the girls softball does pay for their bulbs. They've never asked us to pay for their bulbs. I will tell you that the borough does pay for the bulbs at Troutman.
okay.
So it's not a matter of the borough forcing anybody to do anything or forcing the girls to pay for it. They have never requested it.
Why should they have to ask?
And the borough, but if we don't know when the bulbs need to be replaced, how can I even tell them?
Okay,
So there are no standards between any of the recreation facilities at this time.
well, I think there needs to be though, so that
I don't
everybody.
think, I would disagree with you at all.
Every time we turn around, everybody's struggling with more fundraising. And I'm like, they pay a fee to join, and thank God you have a lot of volunteer families. And are we really spending our fair share for community on our recreation? Or, I don't know. I can remember when we were kids, every playground had a summer program. You know, that went on for years. But we've really not done anything.
It's been a long time since you've been a kid.
I know, it's been a long time. But I just remember the discussion
Let them move on. I'll get them.
between him and Mr.
Anna,
That's my age, Mr. about the light bulbs.
No, it
And,
was actually about the expenses of the
I know.
electricity.
well,
She
you were
brought up the
questioning,
light
they had money to do this, then why don't they have money to pay their utilities? So that must have come up, oh, we can just start getting them to pay utilities
The
too.
issue was, let's get the issue straight. My only concern was in reference that they essentially were running a private facility on borough property, and the borough was paying all the electric for it, in the tune of over $5,000 a year for batting practice.
Is that wrong? I don't know.
I think so.
Huh?
I think so, since it's a private thing right there, it's not open to the community. Yeah, I do think that's wrong.
But doesn't the softball association use it?
They
that is
do,
our
but they don't
community.
open it up to anyone else. I really don't want to go through this. You'd like to have this offline. Obviously, the rest of the council was in agreement with you,
Okay,
not me.
Last
I'm
meeting
trying
of
to
the year.
control cost, okay?
okay.
So, you know, you have some things right, you have some things that, that you don't have the view that I had and the borough manager has. And there is a $900,000 surplus, by the way, so let's get it right, okay? So instead of blowing the million in the grant that we got, we saved most of it. And we also made a lot of capital improvements, and we've actually are in a much better financial. Okay, let's talk about that, okay, since you're giving me.
Look at the streets, the curbs, everything.
Sure.
Drive around.
No doubt. Look in the budget, there's $400,000 set aside for next year. There was a street study that will be done at the end of the year. There is a total of $500,000 in there that is for an emergency fund and also for capital improvements. The new council can reopen the budget and take more money out of those surpluses and putting into paving if they like. That's their job, okay? So, what can I tell you? I mean, you've got years of where there were no taxes increased, a period of 12 years, while the cost of living goes up, while the buildings aren't maintained, while the streets aren't paved as much as they probably should have been. There's a lot of things that they're not going to be solved overnight. It's just that simple.
Okay. And I've heard that before from other councils, that's all. Okay? We'll see. You think that's funny? Borough manager, a little smile on your face there.
Sir, I'm taking notes, and I'm not gonna get into an argument with
I
you.
think you've had 3 minutes. I mean, you can have a conversation after if you like.
You good, Mr. Barker?
Yeah, I'm okay. For now, I guess.
Okay, if we could move on with the items for consideration. Seth? Oh, were there any other comments for consideration? No.
So, first item for consideration is the motion to pay the bills for November 1st through the 30th of 2023, with as summarized on the page, with a total of $1,665,149.60.
Motion.
Motion by President Brennan.
Second.
Second by Mr. Youngkins. Are there any questions or comments on the motion? No? I'd like to get a vote on the motion.
Aye.
Nays?
Aye.
I'm sorry, Mr. President, what? Aye. Any nays? Ayes have it.
Second item on the agenda is the motion to approve the payroll for the periods ending November 4th and November 18th, with a summarized total of $496,853.66.
I need a motion.
Motion.
I need a second. Second. By Mr. Brennan. Any questions or comments on the motion?
I have a question. That total's inaccurate.
You're right, it's not. It's off by a couple of cents.
476.
That's what I was trying to trust a spreadsheet. Yep, it's actually lower, 476,202.99.
476.
202 and 99 cents.
So we have a correction on that motion. $476,202.99. Does the motion still stand? Rich?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Any questions or comments? Jason did. I'd like to get a vote.
Bean counter.
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it.
Third motion is motion to accept Brentwood Bank's offer of a $750,000 tax anticipation note at a tax-free interest rate of 5.64% with no closing costs.
I need a motion.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion?
I have a question or comment.
Go ahead, sir.
Seth, did anyone else respond to our quest for a tax anticipation note?
We did not receive any other offers.
And was that just about the going rate as far as interest rates?
Yes, that is well within line of where interest rates are right now.
Thank you.
Kevin, I would also like to say regarding motion number 3 that I wish we didn't take this tax anticipation note. I've commented on that last year, commented again this year. I feel like what Mr. Barker said, we have money, we should be staying within the budget that we have. And I know Mr. Hannah, Seth, others have said this is like a precautionary thing so that everything will keep moving. But in my heart, and maybe it's just me, I don't spend what I don't have. So if we didn't have it, I don't see why we have to borrow. But that, I just want to state it for the record.
Mrs. Fry?
I know, go ahead.
No, we don't, because for the record, if we did not take out this TAN, odds are we would actually be bankrupt before our taxes came in. That's why the loan is in place. We do not have the cash funds, based on the study that is done, that grants us the loan at all. That through the first 4 months of the year where we do not have tax funds, we do not have the reserves. The goal is to have the reserves so that we do not have to take it any longer. But this year, you would be forced to stop paying bills or lay off staff before taxes came in if there was not a loan.
You wouldn't make it through March without a TAN loan.
Actually,
TAN loans are part of local government, that's all it is. It's not saying you're bankrupt, your finances are bad. It's part of how it works.
But I asked Westmouth or West Homestead, they don't take a TAN loan. I asked Homestead, they don't take a TAN loan. I'm just saying, we always hear everybody takes what?
Did you ask them what
But
their
everybody
reserve
does.
fund was though? So the
Homestead has money in the bank. Homestead just,
So the state recommends on a budget of 12 million, you have 15% in a reserve fund, okay? So perhaps they have 15%, so they don't have it. This is just a simple cash flow piece, okay?
It's a bridge loan.
I will also make note that
It's essentially like that, but it's short term.
if like most other municipalities, the majority of them, we started collecting taxes in March, we most likely would not need a TAN loan this year.
so maybe that's something we could consider. Dr. Dawn about, or
That would be a council, that would be a large change that would be by ordinance. And I'm not sure what else we'd have to talk to the solicitor, but just changing the tax date is not something that the tax collector has control of at all.
They offered a discount that 1 year to get people to pay taxes earlier. Remember that year?
Still do.
I think we still do.
That's because, oh, okay, because that was done because there was no money, you know, okay.
There still is a discount.
For the record, in 2022, we had no reserve, okay? We had no reserve, zero. So, in 2022, we barely scraped by at the end of the year.
As you can see, we're heading in the right direction. We do have some reserve now. Last year we didn't, so maybe we'll come to someday where we don't have to take this tax anticipation and everything. As of now, I think, other than, so we don't run out of money, we have to do this.
It's a fail-safe,
Mhm.
basically. Mr. Abrams?
Vote?
Oh, okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Could I get a vote on motion number 3?
Aye.
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 Any nays?
I want to abstain just for the record, okay?
Do you have a reason to
Can't
abstain?
abstain.
Can't abstain without a significant
You
reason.
can't abstain. Nope.
So then it either has to be yes or no? Okay, then I'll.
Well, you can abstain, you just need to state a reason on the record if you're going to abstain. That's the requirement.
I want to abstain because I just feel that I wish we didn't have to do this. That's my reason.
But you can't abstain, correct?
If she gives a reason, regardless of what you think of it, mark it down as an abstention.
Okay.
The motion still passes.
Okay. Motion number 4, approve the borough budget inclusive of the general fund, capital fund, and reserves fund of 2024.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Questions or comment on the item? No? I'd
I'd
like
just
to,
like to make the comment that the new council has the right, the legal right to reopen the budget if they choose to, if the next council chooses to.
yes. I need a vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Ayes have it.
A motion to approve the tax resolution for the fiscal year 2024, holding the tax rate steady.
Motion.
Second.
Questions or comments? Nope. I need a vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it.
Number 6, motion to approve the fee schedule for the fiscal year 2024. As noted previously, the only change from last year is the private duty police rate.
I need a motion.
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 Motion by Jason, second by Rick. Any questions or comments? I need a vote.
Pass. Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it.
And a motion to approve stash contracting to perform catch basin replacement as part of the CDBG 47 grant as the lowest qualified bidder.
I need a motion.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
Motion.
Huh? Any questions or comments on the motion?
How many bidders were there on this project?
I believe there were 10, sir.
Okay, and what was the low bid?
It was about $9,100 per basin.
What was the high bid?
I do not know off the top, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I need a vote.
Aye.
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 Any nays? Ayes have it. Okay, before we go into public comments, I have something that I would like to say. If you don't mind, I'm going to stand up for this. Mr. Councilman Stein, I would like to thank you for the many years of dedicated service to the residents of the Borough of Munhall. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hanna, Councilman Hanna, I would like to thank you for accepting the more than difficult challenges of helping to manage the borough finances and for being a councilman for the Borough of Munhall. Thank you. So, folks, it's been a challenging 2 years. Hopefully, with the help that you two councilmen have given, we are seeing a light at the end of the tunnel for our borough. Thank you. This is the last meeting of 2023. I would like to wish the Borough of Munhall, the residents, the past, present, and future council, our police department, public works, our office personnel, mayor, firemen, and our solicitor. Also, I'd like to thank Mr. David Cassiork for videotaping our council meetings. You know what? I think that we should give these people a round of applause for their service. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Thank you. Chief, thank you. Mayor. Council, thank you. Mr. Solicitor, thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
I wish you all a happy and Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year. May the New Year be safe and bring us health and prosperity. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'd like to speak also, a few words.
You can.
Being that this is my last meeting, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the residents of Munhall. Give me the opportunity for the last 2 years of filling in for the previous councilman. I have lived in Munhall for 35 years and watched our country, state and community grow and change. When I had the opportunity to join the council, I took it with the hope that I could influence and make changes to make Munhall Borough better. I very quickly learned how local government truly works, and it is much different than traditional business. Local government operates on a most unique set of rules. Some people would call it red tape. And making change in a timely manner is more difficult than it should be. But it is. It's just the rules that you play under. 2022 was a very challenging year, but there were a lot of bright spots. And I think at times we focus not enough on the bright spots when we think about the things that didn't work out so well. 2022, and this is with everyone's help, we appointed a new police chief, a new assistant chief. We hired a new borough manager. We moved into the new borough building. We approved new policies for council ethics. We approved an employee manual. We managed a very difficult financial situation, paying our expenses and staying cash positive. We lowered operating costs by leveraging new contracts, specifically around the insurance carrier, and sold assets that were no longer used by Munhall Borough right there that added to the general fund. 2023 was another year of more challenges and bright spots and more improvements. Okay, we lowered our operating costs by leveraging new contracts and existing contracts. Examples would be Comcast, what we did with all the consolidation of all the carrier costs, and also consolidation of IT services. We also put up a new borough website that actually has service requests for residents to make a service request. And we do have the ability to track the type of work that we do in our public works department and sanitation, so we can help us with when we need to hire additional employees because we don't have enough manpower to do the job. We replaced aging police and public works vehicles out of the general fund and in the police funds themselves, which were very important. The borough manager, went out and looked for new business, and we ended up with a sanitation contract with the Borough of Homestead, which has added additional revenues to our general fund. A negotiation of new police contract, managing the completion of the park projects themselves. If we wouldn't have managed them the way we did, we would have been on the hook for all the money itself. And right now, I believe there's about $20,000 outstanding that we are going to be able to, we will be reimbursed. We continued to improve our financial situation, paying our expenses, staying cash positive, and developing a surplus of almost $900,000. In summary, the operation matured and our financial outlook has improved, but there's still a lot to do. Future opportunities, well, I'm proud of the work and contributions I made. I'm left with the feeling that there's so much more that could have been accomplished. So what I ask moving forward, my hope is that the new council members, along with the incumbent council, become aligned, develop strategic plans to move forward, enabling the borough manager to put their plans into action. I want to thank Seth, Mayor Fultz, and Tom, and Gwen, and their staffs for all the work that they did do, and will continue to do, and my fellow council members. So, thank you. Until the next time.
Thanks. Kevin, I guess maybe my turn, I guess. Yes, sir.
So as you're all well aware right now, this is the last meeting of my 8-year term. It's not an easy decision to volunteer 8 years ago. No decision or deliberation I've made in those 8 years has been an easy one. But you don't volunteer for something like this because it's fun. You volunteer because you care about the town, you care about the people, and you feel like you can make a positive difference to both. And at the end of those 8 years, I rest easy at night knowing that every decision I made had that one goal in mind, the people in the town, and I thank you for that opportunity. It's been a privilege, and I thank everyone that I've worked with, got to know, had to tolerate me. Even if you didn't vote for me, you still had to interact with me in these meetings for 8 years, so I thank all of you for this privilege, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Jacob. So obviously, come January, we will be swearing in the three members of council. And I guess what we'll do is we'll leave that go till after the new year. Seth, this is you. Merry Christmas from the borough staff.
Yep, and I do have one final piece of, it's not business per se. I did not get the information until today, so it did not end up on today's meeting, but the planning commission did approve, or actually I've got two things. One, the planning commission approved the subdivision for St. Rita's. That'll be on next month's agenda. I'm looking at another set of drawings. I was given yesterday the preliminary drawings for the concession stand expansion at Woodhill. So we have not seen, both Mr. Kane and I have reviewed them. Don't see anything extraordinary, out of the ordinary, objectionable or otherwise. I wanted council to be able to see them before they were given the full go-ahead to move forward.
So we did have an extended meeting the night of the planning commission meeting, which I missed because of sitting here, so that's good, I'm glad. I did speak with the planning commission chairman, and he did tell me that they did approve, and so that works for me. Are there any other comments from anybody?
Well, one other thing that we have started up in the borough, actually the last year really took off more. We got more volunteerism now than ever. With the Munhall Cares Group, we have, we've put together these Munhall Main Street Market Nights at very, a little bit of cost to the borough, of course, for the public safety and a small donation. We substitute that for our community days right now. But the volunteerism in Munhall is strong. A lot of people come out for the cleanups, the Munhall Cares Nights. We have volunteers, and that's something that we've started here. That's really starting to turn around here. Munhall Cares has worked in a great partnership with the borough the last year. And now we're going to be having a free store, and that's going to be going down at the Presbyterian Church on 9th. It's actually going to be in Homestead. So they're actually looking for donations, and they'll have a free store opened up probably sometime in January.
Sir?
It's good, it's not bad.
Oh,
While you were talking about drawings, everybody knows that there's something going on at the driving range. And I live right behind.
yes.
Okay. Now those people, and I got a taste of it when I was off, the noise, the dirt, the dust. Now they're stored, they got millings up there, tree log. Is there a land development plan for that property?
Yes. I just spoke to him.
Okay, I've been trying to get somebody, there's no way, and it's not getting any better. And I just think all those houses right in front of it or in the immediate area, enough's enough. They brought a little bit of stone in for their rock entrance. I mean, I know what the rules are. I mean, they have a permit to be bringing dirt in. I mean, I'd like to see the land development plan. Because that should have, unless they keep renewing it, it should have expired. It just seems, you're not allowed to leave dirt exposed more than 4 days.
Good, Rick.
Their permits don't expire. Their permits don't expire, Mr. Barca.
No, a land development plan will expire unless you renew it.
Well, that's why I think that we need to have Mr. Cannon back at our meetings, because questions arise at our meetings, and we answer them. And I think that we need to change that. But I've asked Mr. Cannon many times, how long is this permit valid for at that site? And he said it might be 5 or 6 years. So I think that's utterly way too long. So
Well, they're not
I don't know
following the rules.
I don't know what the answer is, but I think we certainly need to look into it a little further.
The borough should issue a stop work order until they get it all straightened out.
That I don't think so. I don't know that they violated anything.
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah.
You don't live across from it, Rich.
I do live across.
Well, yeah.
I live closer than you do, Mr. Barker.
Oh,
I can
come on,
look
I
out
gotta
my
get
window
paid
right
by.
now and see their office right there. So yes, I do see it. I
I
hear it.
just know that, I think we all agree it's going on too long. And nobody knows, I get people ask me all the time, my other neighbors, nobody knows what's going on there. All I know is there should be grass there by now. And that's the DEP rules. Okay, there should be grass. All I see is more asphalt millings piling out, which I don't believe you're allowed to use those for fill. And now there's a bunch of trees, I don't know if they're digging back, I don't know what goes on way in back. I guess there's a retention pond there. Go anywhere, you won't see a project like that without silt sock surrounding. Go anywhere.
They have silk soil all around
The sediment, I saw a show the other day of what the big effort is, stormwater runoff is destroying the creeks and that. And that's why we have, when the creeks get overwhelmed and the erosion wears away, undermines it, that's what that's all supposed to control. But I just know I'd have to see it to believe it.
Well, you should go down there and see it because he's done a very good job of controlling the water runoff.
Right, I'm just saying is,
I was just down there talking.
and I think it should have some grass maybe. I was here in the summer, man, trucks banging their tailgate, which they don't have to do. I mean, it was every minute, bang, bang, and I know it wouldn't happen in a lot of other communities. You wouldn't be allowed to do stuff on Sundays, you wouldn't be allowed, the noise. It's just, you keep just letting it go. I don't see it getting any better.
I've been here 2 years, nobody's came and complained.
It's the same old thing, a lot of people don't.
Well, I haven't even heard no complaints from them.
Okay, well, I'm gonna show you what the rules are when you have a land development, okay?
I don't know that they have any plans for land development there. I don't know if they have any plans to build a building there or anything that's been brought to our attention yet.
All I remember is,
They're just filling in the property.
all I remember is Mr. Quinn come to a council meeting and said he's digging dirt at Bowser, he just needs a place to put it. They didn't talk about filling the valley in, that's all they were gonna do.
Mr. Quinn or a representative did come to a planning commission meeting. And as far as I know, whomever came, spoke of dividing that property into 3 parcels. From what I'm to understand, one of the parcels was gonna be for his own personal home. I do not know what the other 2 were
Yeah.
designed to be, That was 2 years ago?
I'm just saying the way it looks. I don't think people that drive Homestead Duque Road, it's as bad as going down West Street with the pile of rubbish down on 9th that keeps growing. You get sick of looking at it. I mean, you won't see it in other communities. You don't have to go far.
Let him
Okay, everybody go home and have a good Christmas.
Jimmy, did you have a question?
I'll wait till
He
January.
ain't lying.
It's Christmas.
He's mad because I talk.
Does anybody else have anything that they'd like to add?
I wish y'all a Merry Christmas.
I was gonna say that too. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And thank you for coming to the last meeting of 2023. Thank you. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Whoa, Jason.
One last time.
Dave, second. Could I get a vote?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.